Hey, folks, got about 20 seconds till we kick off the show.
Short but sweet.
From the Civic Media World Headquarters in Madison, Wisconsin, it's the Todd Allbaugh Show. And now, pursuing truth wherever it may lead, here's your host, Todd Allbaugh.
Across Wisconsin on the Civic Media Weight Radio Network and streaming worldwide on the Civic Media app. Hello, everybody. I'm Todd Allbaugh, along with Mr. Aaron Zommers on the board at 6 minutes past the hour of 2 o'clock on this Monday, July the 14th, 2025. It is a great day to be a Wisconsinite, back at the world headquarters in downtown Madison, blue skies above Zommers. I don't know how to talk now that I'm back in a proper studio after a while away.
Yeah, now that we're live on the Civic Media Radio Network, is
Yes,
it also rabbit hunting season?
I don't know. I think I was trying to say radio network and then welcome at the same time.
Probably.
I don't know. My brain's a little shorted out. Glad to have you along, everybody, on a Monday here. Exciting week ahead after a very exciting week last week. Was up in the Chippewa Valley on Thursday and Friday, broadcasting there with our friend and colleague Pat Kreitlow from the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. Had a great time. Thank you to Rusty Volk, the entire crew at the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. By the way, Kaylee and Sue the chicken have emerged as the favorite guests from those two shows, Summers. It was a good time. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we had a live chicken on the show.
And I honestly, it was incredible. As soon as I found out there was a live chicken, before we started, Todd asked me, all right, should we have the owner hold the chicken or should we have it on the table?
Yes.
And I said, you got to do it on the table because if it craps on the table on live radio, it'll be hilarious. It didn't. She was an incredibly well-behaved chicken. We got many comments from our viewers.
Yeah.
I believe Kurt Kohler commented, such a well-behaved chicken,
I
unlike
know.
the host.
Yes, unlike the host. But I was able to contain my bodily functions during the show, which is always a good thing. My sister Heather, who is our on-site production coordinator for some of these on-location shows during the summer, she says we're wearing the same shirts on Facebook today because, yes, if you're watching on the stream on Facebook, YouTube, X, what used to be Twitter, I have my 2025 National Coob Championship t-shirt because on Sunday, and this capped off a very, very exciting few days for me. On Thursday and Friday, we're at the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. On Saturday, the whole family, mom included, packed up the van, went over to the Twin Cities, Minneapolis to be precise, to the Orpheum Theater, and we saw the touring Broadway production of Kimberly Akimbo, which Heather and I went out and saw on Broadway a couple of years ago to celebrate her 50th birthday. And let me tell you, if you get a chance, if Kimberly Akimbo is near you, or if you want to take a drive like we did to the Twin Cities, get yourself there because this touring company, which has a couple of the original cast members in it, the OG, as they say, fantastic. From musically, acting, the whole shebang, absolutely fantastic. And so Kimberly Akimbo, highly recommended by the Allbaugh Galoy family.
Along that note, I got an email from the Pablo Center up in Eau Claire.
Really?
Book of Mormon is going to be there in November.
Really? Well, let's book the tickets now.
Might have to.
We'll absolutely have to do a show back at the Pablo for Book of Mormon in the fall. That's great.
I can't wait. I've been wanting to see it for a long time.
Yeah, no, it's a really, really a great show. So that's fantastic. And then so we did that on Saturday, and then on Sunday we were back in Eau Claire, and we went down and saw the finals of the Coob Championships in Eau Claire. Lots of people there, lots of excitement. We saw the third and fourth place teams square off. And then the championship game for the National Coob Championship featured two teams, one based in Minnesota and the other based in Eau Claire, with the international guy from Belgium.
Oh, yeah.
And last year, that guy
feeling.
came over here from Belgium, and they got second, I believe. This year, I think it was the Kabooms or something. Heather, if you remember, put it in the chat, please. But they were fantastic, and it was high drama, and the team based in Eau Claire with the guy from Belgium won, and it was a lot of fun. It was really, really fun. So maybe next year we do a day from the Coupe Championship proper, and we get our friend Jane McNair to come along with us, and we'll set up right there. So I'm wearing, for those watching on the stream, I'm wearing my 2025 Coupe Championship. So many thanks to all the great folks at Coupe up there in Eau Claire who made us feel at home and joined us on the program. And of course, BJ Hollers, one of the two folks at Fireside Productions, filming a documentary. And you think, well, Coupe isn't that exciting. But just like our friends Kelly Call and Sean Hanish with the Brewers documentary, Just a Bit Outside, it's beyond the sport. It's not just about the sport, whether it's baseball or Coupe. It's about the relationships. It's about the humanity of it. And that's really the story behind the story. So looking forward to that. And thank you very Oh, here it is. Heather has got it right on the tip of her tongue. Kaboom Jr. was third or fourth. The second place team had a much longer name.
Yeah, I looked it up.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
And in fourth is Kuboom Jr., spelled
Kaboom.
Kubboom. So Kuboom Jr.
Kaboom Jr.
In third, Bebop and Coob Steady and the Kid.
All right.
Both of those teams are from Eau Claire.
Mhm.
In second place, Chaska Blue Bell Ringers from Minnesota. And then in first place, the Wrecking Crew from
Yes,
Eau
that's
Claire and Belgium.
The Wrecking Crew. Congratulations to the Wrecking Crew of Eau Claire and Belgium for your National Coupe Championships. It's really great. And it doesn't cost that much to buy a wood Coupe set.
Can make one.
Could make one if you wanted to. But yeah, I would say check it out. It's a good time had by all, as Ken Lewis is fond of saying. So anyway, back here just for a day, Zommers. In fact, I have laundry in the wash machine back home. I had to do some socks and underwear, you understand, and some shirts. And then I got to go home as soon as the show is over and pack up again because I got to go to Wauwatosa in the morning. It's been quite the fiasco, let me tell you. This upcoming trip. There's lots of moving parts, and it involves me meeting Luke Mathers at a undisclosed dark alley in Wauwatosa in the morning.
At 10 a.m. sharp.
Yes, because Todd no longer has a company card. You understand? They didn't trust me with the money. So poor Lukester has to meet me down there with a card to pay for this. We're getting a rental vehicle because last year's is Jane and I, but we're very, very happy. This year, Greg Bach is going along. Well, when I travel in my truck, I only have room for one extra person. And so we had to get a rental vehicle. I think it's a Bluebird 1967 bus. But anyway, we're going to rent that from Enterprise down there in Wauwatosa. And then I trekked down to Racine at the Rockefeller Dancing Rockette Studio in Racine. You're going to be there. I'm very excited about this. They're letting you out of Madison for
Yeah,
once.
it's the first time on a tour that I'm traveling. It is to another studio, but still.
But still, you're going to be down there, and we're going to talk Racine Kringle, ONH, I believe it is.
Yep.
We're going to talk about that tomorrow. And Jane and Greg, we might bribe them to come on the show. And then we're going to, as soon as the show is done in Racine tomorrow, it's on to the Bluebird bus. And I'm just like the Partridge Family. We're going to drive up to Oshkosh tomorrow, or tomorrow after the show. Wednesday, Jane and Greg will do their fantastic program, Matinee on Air, from 9 until 11. And then we'll do our show from 2 until 4. Then it's back in the bus. We drive all the way to Park Falls, where and by the way, many thanks to Todd Michaels for helping set up the Oshkosh site. And then Darla, our great manager up there in Park Falls and Hayward, Darla has got things all set up, and we're going to stay up in Park Falls. We're going to do the show on Thursday. Pardon me. Yeah, Thursday from an artisan studio. That'll be great. I think Jane and I are going to have a pottery off. We're going to see.
I hope so.
We're going to see who can do the best vase at the end of the shows. So that should be a lot of fun. Greg is going to do an oil painting, I believe, of a loon. Oh,
Not bad.
Oh, Norman, the loons are back. That's my Katharine Hepburn from On Golden Pond. Anyway, that'll be great. And then on Friday, we're getting up at the crack of dawn, and we're getting in the bus, and we're going over to Hayward, where the big Lumberjack Championships are taking place. We won't be there at the lumberjack site, but we'll be in the same town. And there's a powwow going on. We're going to be in a place called The Lot. Not Big Lots, that's an entirely different place. But we're going to be at The Lot, which is right across the street from Muskie 101. And here's the great thing. If you listen to us on WBZH, Buzz of the North, get your lawn chair, your favorite beverage. They don't care what you bring up in Hayward. Just bring a beverage. Bring your beverage, bring a lawn chair, bring a friend, bring a lover, whatever you want to do, bring a pet, and meet us at this a wonderful little pavilion called The Lot right across the street from Muskie 101 in Hayward. And Jane and Greg are going to do their morning show there. They're going to have some cloggers, I think, and a banjo player that starts off their show at 9 o'clock. And then we're going to come on with singing lumberjacks in the afternoon. And
Beautiful.
so that'll be fantastic.
If you live in Hayward and have chickens that are well behaved,
yes,
you should bring them.
If you have live chickens, because we're going to be outside. If you have a live chicken, bring it. Now, I was going to say, this is true. My sister will vouch for this. I said, all right, we've had a chicken here in Eau Claire last week. I said, what I really want for next week, I would like a live bear cub. A live bear cub.
That may be a little more difficult.
at the event up in Hayward.
But it would be incredible.
But it would be incredible. But, and this is only slightly, it's really not funny at all. But it's ironic. According to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, this is a real headline. 69-year-old woman severely injured in black bear attack in Wisconsin's Barron County, which is not too far from Hayward. So a 69-year-old woman was attacked by a black bear near the town of Comstock in Barron County, according to the State Department of Natural Resources, which is investigating and searching for the animal. The woman sustained severe injuries, according to the DNR, but her condition is currently unknown. She reported the attack at around 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. So this is right in the middle of the day. She was able to call 911, take her to a local hospital. Here's the key. DNR wardens and U.S. Department of Ag staff did not know exactly why the bear attacked. As they began looking for the bear, officials found a cub in a tree.
That'll do it.
Indicating the incident involved a cub and a female bear. How many times do you have to tell people, do not get between an animal and their offspring? It's just nothing good's going to come of it.
In fact, very bad things almost certainly will.
Yeah. This ain't Yogi Bear. This isn't, the farm animal zoo, petting zoo. This is wildlife. And I don't care whether it's a bear, an elk, a moose, a deer, a skunk. Don't get between them. If there's little ones, oh, look, they're so cute. I want to pet them. It's going to end poorly for you, the human.
Absolutely. Like black bears, normally, they don't hurt people.
Right.
They're pretty easy to scare
they're docile.
off. Yeah.
You hunt bear.
I have. Although we didn't see one then, but I have seen bears other times. And, if it's black, fight back. If it's brown, get down.
Really?
If it's white, say goodnight.
Really? A polar bear, you can't.
Polar bear, it's just going to kill you almost
You're
definitely.
Just done.
Probably.
Well, I hope with global warming, I don't think Jane and Greg and I are going to run into any polar bears up in Hayward.
I don't think so. But no, with a black bear, just make yourself big and make noise. Like put your arms up and out.
The closest
they'll probably run away.
The closest we'll get to is a large man with white hair. That's a polar bear. Anyway, we'll stay away from the bears. We'll behave ourselves, and we're going to have a great time. So if you're in the Hayward area, come on out Friday, either from 9 to 11 for Jane and Greg's show or 2 until 4 for our show at The Lot in Hayward, Wisconsin. Going to be an absolutely great time. Come on back, talk a little healthcare in rural Wisconsin after this. Surprise, surprise. And Elmo got hacked.
I saw.
I'm not kidding. Come on back. The Allbaugh Show in the Civic Media.
Madison's real news and great conversation. 92.7 WMDX.
I want to put the one on the screen, but I'm not going to.
No, you can't. You can't.
But you know which one I'm talking about.
Yes,
his coworkers
absolutely.
safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you ready to crack open something amazing? Whether it's a fresh pistachio or the keys to your dream home, we've got you covered. Just like pistachios, the best homes are worth the wait. And once you find the perfect one, it is so satisfying. At Aaron Weber Group, we help you find homes that are as irresistible as a handful of pistachios. So whether you're house hunting or just snacking, remember, great things come in shells and in the perfect 4 walls. Call Aaron Weber Group, powered by Compass, today, and let's get you into a home that's a real treat.
I'm Dan Schaefer. Let's recombobulate. In a chaotic and somewhat discombobulating end to the process, Wisconsin lawmakers passed a state budget and Governor Tony Evers signed it into law at about 1:30 a.m. on July 3rd. What made this budget different from the others signed in this era of divided government is that Democratic votes were needed to pass the budget in the state Senate. Part of the reason that was made possible is because of new, fairer maps. Last November, Senate Democrats flipped 4 seats, shrinking the Republican majority to just an 18-15 margin. Now, candidates are already lining up to take this the rest of the way and flip the chamber. Democrat Jenna Jacobson, who currently serves in the Assembly, is now running for Senate, challenging Republican Howard Markline in the 17th district. If Democrats can flip that district and 1 more seat, they could control the state Senate for the first time in more than 15 years. That would be a big deal for state politics in Wisconsin.
Find all of Dan's work at the Recombobulation area.
Got a little less than 30 seconds.
Thank you.
Or the National Park Foundation.
La 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 la, la 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 la, Elmo's world. La 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 la, la 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 la, Elmo's world.
Back to the Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network. 22 minutes now past the hour of 2 o'clock on this Monday, July 14th. Zomers and I back at the world headquarters. I'm back at the world headquarters in Madison, Wisconsin.
I've been here the whole time.
You've been here the whole time. Tomorrow, we'll both be down at Radio City Rocket Music Park down in Racine. Looking forward in nervous anticipation to that. Do you think anybody will be in sequins when we arrive?
I'm not sure.
Maybe I'll be in sequins when we arrive.
I hope so.
Zomer is playing some Elmo here. We're going to get to this. Elmo, the Sesame Street Muppet, and Jeffrey Epstein. This is real. I texted this to a friend this morning who's in the business, as we say. And she said, that is so fake. I said,
it's real.
It is not fake. She's like, OMG. Anyway, hope she's enjoying it old-fashioned up at Ishnala. Ever been to Ishnala, by the way?
I haven't. I want to.
We need
yeah.
to do a show from Ishnala. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So
maybe we can get someone to cover the board and I can go too.
maybe we'll try it. We're going to get to Elmo in just a bit. A couple other big headlines. Here's what's going on. What a lot of people are talking about. Trump announces a weapons for Ukraine and gives Russia a 50-day deadline. So now Trump is saying, well, no, I don't know. I guess I can't trust Vladimir Putin the way I thought I could. So he's going to okay some Patriot missiles for Ukraine, which is really the only thing that can really protect Ukraine from these Russian drones that have been pounding Ukraine at night. So Trump is at least saying, we'll see if it becomes true, that he's going to help Russia out a little bit. Bongino, remember him, the big radio guy, the dude that was down at the RNC last year at Milwaukee, real tough guy. Bongino, a talk radio guy, he was now like the deputy director of the FBI. He's salty and saying that he didn't show up for work on Friday. He no-showed because he's salty about the fact that over the 4th of July holiday, the Trump folks kind of tried to slip it in there, no pun intended, that in fact, after campaigning on the Jeffrey Epstein files, this dude who just was proven in court that he had run a sex trafficking ring of young girls on an island down in the Caribbean or somewhere. There were all kinds of names of politicians and celebrities. Trump was on this log of the plane and also on the island several times. And it was alleged that Trump had participated in this, as well as other people. but it never came out during the Biden administration. Merrick Garland, nobody knows what he was doing, never followed up on it. But Trump said, "You elect me president, I will release this." And Epstein's in prison, by the way. And then, all of a sudden he slipped on the soap and he's dead. And they say he committed suicide. But then they went to the cameras. Well, the cameras will tell the truth on this. Well, it turns out the cameras have, guess what? About a minute and a half of missing footage that the camera, quote unquote, malfunctioned.
And they finally released the video, and they did a terrible job. Like, it has metadata that shows it was edited.
Right.
Like 4 times.
Like somebody was splicing with a videotape or something. It's clearly, and Trump is on camera in an interview saying, he quote, he either got killed or committed suicide. That's what Trump said, unquote. And so now Trump, now he's president, and Pam Bondi, the Pam Bondi girl, Pam Bondi, she says, no, actually, there's nothing there.
Previously having said that it was on her desk.
Right. And now there's nothing there. And the whole thing's gone, you understand? All the files, the electronic files, the paper files, they've been burned, they've been whatever, incinerated. So none of this is ever going to come to light, the actual truth.
Well, no, they haven't been incinerated. They didn't exist. And then Trump said that the Obamas made them.
Right.
And now I don't know where it is.
So now some of these folks in MAGA world are salty because Trump had a run on this. And so Dan Bongino says he might not stay in the Trump administration because you got Laura Loomer, that whack-a-job. She's out there saying she's not happy. So some of these people on the far right are finally figuring out that, this is a fraud and that Trump isn't such a great guy after all. So there's trouble in MAGA world. So that's going on. What else we got? Over the weekend, this was interesting. Rosie O'Donnell, the former comedian, actor, talk show host, Rosie O'Donnell. She, by the way, now living in Ireland because she says she can't stand Trump. Well, and these two, Trump and O'Donnell, have gone back a long ways, not liking each other. And so now Trump over the weekend, this is real, tweeted out. And look, people are going to say, well, he was just joking around or whatever. Can't you take a joke? Blah, 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 blah. I don't care if it was a joke or not. It's the fact that Donald Trump, whether you like him or not, is the sitting president of the United States. And as sitting president of the United States from the White House, Donald Trump over the weekend put on his True social media platform, quote, "Because of the fact that Rosie O'Donnell is not in the best interest of our great country, I am giving serious consideration to taking away her citizenship. She is a threat to humanity and should remain in the wonderful country of Ireland if they want her. God bless America," unquote. Again, people are going to say, well, it just distracts us. I don't think it's distracting to point out that the sitting president of the United States would even joke about revoking someone who is born in this country as a full citizen. That's just sick and scary, quite frankly. So you got that going on over the weekend. I don't think Rosie has given the response the dignity of a response, or the tweet, or whatever you want to call it, the dignity of a response. So that's some of the heavier kind of sensationalistic news happening. And Trump now saying he's going to put tariffs again, 30% on tomatoes. People are growing tomatoes. Apparently it costs $5 for a tomato now at the farmer's market. No, I just made that up. But wouldn't that be something? $5 for a tomato. People are going to say, well, there's 30% tariff. By the way, I bought coffee. If Jane's listening, I bought coffee this morning at our friend at Wonder State Coffee for our trip for Jane, Greg, and people that come out and see us in Hayward, by the way. Pricey because of the tariffs. So everything's going up. Tomatoes, coffee, the whole deal. All right, we'll come back. I should get to this story by NBC. Rural hospitals brace for painful choices after Trump's Medicaid and Obamacare cuts. This is real. Come on back. More after this on the Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Real news and great conversation. 92.7 WMDX. Download the Civic Media app in the Google Play or Apple App Store and take us
Luke is
everywhere.
selling you some chickens in a dark alley.
Civic Media Radio Network.
According to this AI-generated image from Cam. And also, you are very angry at Elmo.
At this time of the year, we
AI
talk a
is
lot
really
about
scary
auctions.
stuff.
On farm auctions,
Really
auctions
scary
at the county
stuff.
fair. But beginning today,
But my forearms look a lot more fit than I actually am.
Quick update on what's happening in food and farming
Heather
news
says
on
Rosie
Monday.
did give a
That's
response.
because
I saw
today,
it. Thank you.
through the
We'll see what we got.
21st, the Bureau of Land Management within the U.S. Department of the Interior hosting their online corral auction, giving you a chance to adopt and buy wild horses and donkeys. Jason Luderman
just
from the National
ridiculous.
Wild Horse
The AI
and Burro
pictures?
Program
Yes.
says it's your
That
chance
picture
to
of
give
Luke
these animals
with
not only a
chickens.
good home, but potentially find yourself a good work partner. He says donkeys, for example, can do many different things.
So a lot of people use them as guard animals. Burros make great guard animals. They'll run off coyotes or other predators that might threaten your herd. A lot of people just keep them as pets. I mean, take one look at one of those burros and you'll see why. They're very cute animals, and a lot of people have them around as pets or livestock guardians. Some people take them on the trails as well. They can be used as pack animals. Basically, anything you want a donkey to do, that's what this burro is for.
Jason Luderman with the National Wild Horse and Burro Program. He says they do this auction about every 4 to 5 years to make sure that the animal numbers in rangeland in the West aren't becoming overcrowded and that the animals stay healthy. If you're interested in getting involved, again, the online sale from now through the 21st, and the pre-application process takes less than a business day to complete. We've got a link up on our website now, MidwestFarmReport.com.
Hey, got yield? The Wisconsin Soybean Association is excited to announce the 2025 Wisconsin Soybean Yield Contest, highlighting the innovative production practices of Wisconsin soybean growers. The Yield Contest celebrates soybean growers across the state and their dedication to improving their operations. 2 winners will be selected from 4 geographical divisions, with additional awards available. Entry forms must be postmarked by August 31st, so don't wait. For more information, visit wisoybean.org.
You're invited to Clinton Farms in
Not
Bear
for
Creek
this
for
half
this
hour,
year's
but for
Farm
next
Technology
hour,
Days.
you can dial up
Generations
the
of
original
This
theme
year's event
song,
features the chance
pardon me,
to
to
explore
a
cutting-edge
Family
equipment,
Feud
innovative
with Richard
techniques, and
Dawson.
taking a glimpse into the next generation.
Maybe if there's a
of
clip of
agriculture.
him saying,
There's
survey
also
said.
parlors, seminars, and of course, field
100
demos
people
of
were
all
surveyed.
kinds.
Top
Mark
5
your calendars
answers
for
on
August
the
5th
board.
through the 7th and bring the whole family to this year's event. For more information and show details, visit
What's a food that you
wifarmtechdays.org.
avoid
There's
on
a quick
date?
update for you on food and farming news for a Monday. Remember, our talk text line
Survey
is
said.
open to you anytime. Communicate directly with us by calling or texting 877-301-FARM. I'm PM Yankee.
Local news, weather, and sports on air and streaming on the Civic Media app. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
Bright and hazy today with mostly sunny skies and wildfire smoke and winds barely moving. High temperatures today will strike the upper 80s. But with the increased humidity, it's going to be feeling more like the low 90s. Stay cool and keep hydrated.
Stay cool.
I'm meteorologist Brittany Merlot. Currently 82 degrees.
The John and Gordy Show.
Happy birthday, John, from your friend, the sparkly Costco lady. In honor of your birthday, hot dogs are $1.50 today.
Oh, wow. Excellent. All right.
The sparkly Costco lady.
There we go.
Sure, pal.
That's Kathy.
We also got a message from Laura and wishing you 117 more. Yeah, you're 117 years old today. Yes.
Weekday mornings 6 till 8 on 92.7 WMDX and the Civic Media app. Nightlight with Pete Schwaba.
Milwaukee film critic, Mr. Matt Miller. I know you saw this. I saw 28 years later as well. I really liked it. My wife loved it, and we're not really horror people, but just something to grab. It's just great storytelling.
It is
Wherever it may lead, and having fun doing it. Welcome back to the Todd Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network. Glad to have you along. Zommers on the board on this Monday, July 14th, 2025. 35 minutes now past the hour of 2 o'clock for the world headquarters in downtown Madison today. We're going to be on the road tomorrow down in Racine. That'll be a lot of fun. See Jane Greg down there of Matt Nair on Air. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's Jane, Greg, and Todd on the road. What makes Wisconsin great? We'll be talking about that in Oshkosh. Butternut. By the way, Butternut, the home of the butternut squash. And then on Friday from Hayward. So that'll be a lot of. By the way, sorry, my voice is a little rough. I'm not sure what I think it's the fact that I was up in a lot of northern air over the weekend in beautiful northern Wisconsin. Maybe I was talking to a lot of people, and thank you to everybody that came out at the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. Had Pat Kreitlow up there along with myself. You had Mike McKay from WCFW, the music station up there, the voice, the iconic voice of Chippewa Valley. And then you also had James Kelly of James Kelly News here at Civic Media. That was a lot of fun as well. So thank you for everybody that came out. So, Zombers, I got to get my, have some lemon and honey tonight or something like that because I'm going to be back on the road the next 4 days. So, got to try to get the voice back. So, I apologize for that. 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. If you want to comment or call in, you can also join us on the Civic Media app. John in Oshkosh, listening on WISS, says, what are the Oshkosh stop details again? We'd like to know. No, we're going to be at the EAA Museum tomorrow, but I'm not. So I suppose
not tomorrow.
Or not tomorrow. I'm sorry, Wednesday. Wednesday, Jane and Greg will be doing their show from the EAA Museum from 9 until 11, and then we'll be doing our show from there from 2 until 4. I'm not exactly sure what time the museum opens because I think we're going to be inside, but I would assume if you go and you pay the admission price for the EAA Museum, you can stop out and say hi to us. And we would love that. Now, we also may be having a drink at the hotel bar at the Marriott downtown in Oshkosh tomorrow night. So that would be
Wednesday night.
Or Wednesday.
Or do you mean tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night.
Oh, this time it is tomorrow. Okay.
Yes, on Tuesday, because we're gonna be getting in late, or not late, but I don't know what time we'll get in. 7-ish, 7:30. Anybody find this at the Marriott bar in Oshkosh? Jane, Greg, and I. We'll buy you a drink. Come on out and say hi. Before we get into this story about rural hospitals, our friend Gene in Eau Claire, speaking of WCFW, the tap up there. Gene, it was a lovely couple of days in your neck of the woods up there. What do you have to say?
Well, you did a really outstanding job at the
thank you.
Wisconsin State Fair. That was really great coverage. I loved it. You do a good job. You do great on YouTube. I watch you guys on YouTube all the time.
What do you think of the chicken? The chicken was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was outstanding.
Thank you.
Oh, it just was so calm by your behavior.
I know.
Oh, this is a good guy. I'm going to be good. I'm not going to do anything naughty.
I think it was the credit goes to the chicken, but go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, I want to thank you for covering this important information that's going on in our country right now, because I've never seen anything like it. It's just destructive, psychotic behaviors demonstrated by our president and his administrative staff around him. And it's just unbelievable the way that he treats other countries, the way he's going to do a tariff, then he's not going to do a tariff, then he does it for personal reasons. It is just nuts. And then the economy, stocks going up, stocks going down. They don't know if they're coming or going, in the chaos and what's going on with ICE. And I hope people really pay attention to what's going on here and say, do you think we can survive another year with these people running our country, or are we going to get people in there with, some stability? So anyway, thank you for your coverage and keep up the great work.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Gene. Have a great day up there, beautiful Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Breaking news, Zommers, across the wires at this hour from CBS News. The United States Supreme Court has agreed to pause a lower court order that required the Department of Education to reinstate nearly 1,400 employees who have been laid off, while proceedings over the Trump administration's efforts to dismantle the agency continued. The High Court granted a request from the Trump administration to lift, for now, the injunction issued by U.S. Judge June, which blocked the mass layoffs at the Education Department. A federal appeals court rejected a bid to pause that decision while the Justice Department appealed, after which it sought emergency relief from the Supreme Court. The decision to lift the stay was, surprise, surprise, 6-3, with the court's 3 liberal justices dissenting. The Trump administration argued that John, the judge appointed by former President Joe Biden, did not have the power to order the reinstatement. So put it down there where the chickens can get at it in everyday English. Supreme Court just now issuing a ruling that says to Donald Trump, sure, fire 1,400 employees. That's just fine with us. An oversimplification, perhaps, but that's basically what it is saying that, no, this lower judge can't stop the Trump administration from firing 1,400 people from the education department for now while it works its way through the courts. Well, I mean, come on, let's be real. Once, people get laid off, are they going to wait around for weeks, if not months to, well, I think I'll just sit here and knit for 4 months while the courts work this out, and maybe I'll get to go back to the Department of Education. No, they're done. They're over. So the U.S. Supreme Court saying to the Trump administration just now, breaking news, that 1,400 employees in the Education Department are gone, basically gutting and dismantling the U.S. Department of Education. So there's that. Good gravy. All right. This has been an underreported story, I think, across much of legacy media. This from NBC News, doing a good job here. Headline, rural hospitals brace for painful choices after Trump's Medicaid and Obamacare cuts. An estimated 17 million people could lose their health insurance, putting financial strain on hospitals. Says rural hospitals across the U.S. say they're being forced to consider tough choices, like cutting services for children or cancer patients, after President Donald Trump signed into law a sprawling domestic policy bill that includes sweeping cuts to not only Medicaid, but the Affordable Care Act as well, better known as Obamacare. Benjamin Anderson, CEO of Hutchinson Regional Healthcare Systems, oversees 180-bed hospitals that serve as the only hospital for many residents in rural south central Kansas. Anderson said he's evaluating how the hospital and its broader health system will be able to afford all of its offerings of services, which include hospice and home care, inpatient mental health treatment, and a cardiology program. Services that are not traditionally as profitable, such as women's health and pediatric care, will be the hardest to sustain, Anderson said. He added the system is trying to see which programs can be saved. The cuts in the bill will also mean that hospitals will have to continue its hiring freeze, a move that risks burning out staff members already sustained from the pandemic and with high patient loads. The real test, he said, will come this fall when flu, COVID, and RSV cases are expected. Quote, what this does is put us at risk when the respiratory season hits, Anderson said. We're at real risk of wearing out the staff we have right now, unquote. Let me step away from the story. Right there, those couple of sentences gets at the heart of what's not being talked about. It's not just the cuts from Trump's bill that just got passed and signed into law. It's not just the monetary cuts, but it's the fact that so many of our rural hospitals, including right here in Wisconsin, are going to continue either hiring freezes and or not replacing people that retire, which means that the current staff gets overworked, gets burned out. And so when you have the respiratory season hitting this fall into the winter, a lot of these folks are just going to be, I'm out of here. Because we can't expect our healthcare folks to put their own mental and physical health at risk from being burned out. And we saw this here in Madison. Nurses went on strike at Mariner Hospital. They got an agreement there. Wisconsin Supreme Court recently said that the nurses union at UW could not bargain because of Scott Walker's Act 10 that Republicans passed in the state over 10 years ago. And these folks are at their breaking point, many of them. What happens when people get their breaking point? Well, if they don't themselves have breakdowns, physical or mental. It increases the chance that they can make a mistake on their patients, which they do not want to do, by the way. It's when we go in, and you check in, you have to give your last name, your birth date. You get into the room, the nurse or the whoever it is comes in to take your blood pressure. Can I get your last name of birth? I need it again. And then the doctor comes in or the physician assistant, they ask for it before you get any sort of a treatment, whether it's a shot or whatever. Can I get your last name? Those are all preventative to try to lessen the possibility of a mistake in our medical community. And they're doing that to protect us, the patients. And now this bill by Republicans, MAGA Republicans, and Trump is going to increase the burnout rate at our rural hospitals all across Wisconsin. Back to the story by NBC. Rural hospitals rely heavily on Medicaid funding because they typically serve a higher share of low-income patients. An estimate from KFF, a health policy research group, found that Trump's legislation could lead to about 17 million people losing coverage due to the changes in Medicaid and the ACA or Obamacare. Let me say that again. This so-called big, beautiful bill of Trump's could lead to about 17 million people losing coverage to the changes in Medicaid and the ACA or Obamacare. More than 300 rural hospitals in the U.S. are at risk of closing down because of the bill. Democratic lawmakers wrote in a letter last month, if more of their patients are uninsured, these hospitals risk not getting paid for their services, the letter said. The bill includes nearly $1 trillion in cuts to Medicaid, mainly through work requirements, as well as changes to how states are able to help fund their programs, known as the provider tax. It also makes changes to the ACA or Obamacare, including additional paperwork requirements to renew coverage each year. It allows government subsidies to help people pay for health plans to expire at the end of the year. The Congressional Budget Office, a nonpartisan agency that provides budget and economic information to Congress, estimated that nearly 4 million people will lose their coverage in 2026 if the subsidies were not extended. Here's the kicker. Edward Park from Public Policy Research at Georgetown said the changes to Medicaid pose the greatest threat to rural hospitals. But many of those changes, get this, won't take effect until 2027 at the earliest. But Park said he does not expect states and rural hospitals to wait until the last minute to prepare. So we're going to explain this when we come back, because you're going to see rural hospitals start closing in Wisconsin and across this country. And Republicans are going to say, well, why are they doing this? We'll tell you why when we come back. It's the Allbaugh Show on Civic Media. Don't go anywhere for a Monday.
Come work with us. Civic Media has a number of great jobs across the state. Open now at civicmedia.us/careers.
It's a party on the patio at the Lazy Oaf Lounge, and you're invited every Tuesday at 5:30. It's just Merle and a girl, and Thursdays
Merle
on the
and a girl.
patio feature singer-songwriter Shelley Faith.
Well, hey, bartender, won't you pour me another
Music starts at 5:30. It's live music on the patio at the Lazy Oaf Lounge every Tuesday and Thursday. The Lazy Oaf Lounge, 1617 North Stoughton Road in Madison. Find specials, menus, and more at lazyoaflounge.com.
When you're having computer problems, you need a company you trust to get things working again, quickly and affordably. Madison Computer Works has been doing that for business and residential customers for decades. Our computer care plans take away the hassle of being without your computer or needing to bring it in for repair. Starting at only $10 a month, our local and friendly techs provide remote help and can fix most problems in just minutes. Call 608-231-8000 and sign up today. Madison Computer Works, computers that work for you.
This is Chad Spate for Chad's Design Build. We're proud to employ some of the best carpenters and remodeling professionals in our industry. Are you honest and hardworking? Do you love to improve people's lives by improving their homes? Chad's Design Build offers excellent compensation and benefits focused on outstanding customer service, professional design, construction management, and craftsmanship, all in a nurturing, positive workplace. Whether you're thinking about remodeling your home or considering joining our team, go to chadsdesignbuild.com to learn more.
Hey, it's Crash Gladys from Speed Freaks. Are you still paying full price for gas? Stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with the free Upside app. Simply download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now and start earning cash at the pump today. Use limited time promo code IMPACT and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. Listeners are making $200 to $300 a year just from buying the gas they already needed. Don't wait. Download the free Upside app now and use promo code IMPACT to redeem your 25 cent per gallon bonus. That's promo code IMPACT. Yeah, at first I thought it was too good to be true, but it's completely legit. Plus, you can cash out anytime. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app now by using limited time promo code IMPACT. That's promo code IMPACT for a limited time 25 cents per gallon bonus. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
At Hazelden Betty Ford, treating mental health isn't just about breaking old patterns. It's about braving new ones. As the leader in alcohol and drug treatment for 75 years, we know...
Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network. Glad to have you along. Zomer is on the board. 8 minutes now before the hour of 3 o'clock. Coming up at hour 2. Little what's worse for you today. I'm trying to lose weight, Zomers. Spending time at the Northern Wisconsin State Fair is not exactly the way to do it. I'm trying to, I don't need to lose like 75 pounds, but I could lose 15. And so I'm trying just to get a little bit more fit. And so what's worse today, dieting or exercise? We'll talk about that in hour 2. Along with, let's play the feud. Family Feud, big anniversary date over the weekend. We'll talk about that. Also, Jacob Mizorowski, the phenom pitcher of the Milwaukee Brewers, going to the All-Star game in record time. Mike Clemens was there, our great sports reporter, at the post-game press conference after he got named. And Clemens has some great audio. Going to be sharing that with you from Jacob Mizorowski in hour 2. Right now, want to finish up this story on Medicaid cuts in Trump's bill. Record cuts. And here's the deal. You're going to hear this from Derek Van Orden, Republican congressman in Western Wisconsin. You're going to hear it from Congressman Tom, There's No Breakfast at Tiffany's in Northern Wisconsin. You're going to hear it from Glenn Grothman. You're going to hear it from Fitz and others. They're going to say, I don't know why libs and Democrats are screaming like this. I mean, there's no cuts. They're just making this up. They're scaring people. That's what the MAGA folks are going to say. Here is why they're saying this. They're going to say this. This story at NBC today. Edwin Park, a research professor at the Georgetown University School of Public Policy, said the changes to Medicaid pose the greatest threats to rural hospitals. Many of those changes will not take effect until 2027 at the earliest. But Park said he does not expect states and rural hospitals to wait until the last minute to prepare. Recently, Nebraska-based community hospital said it's shutting down Curtis Medical Center, a clinic in Curtis, a town of around 900 people, citing in part anticipated cuts from the government. Quote, They're going to start making cuts now, Park said. So instead of a cliff, they're trying to cut now so they don't have all the painful cuts in a singular year. Kevin Stansberry, the CEO of the Lincoln Community Hospital and Care Center, a 25-bed rural hospital in Hugo, Colorado, said he may soon have to start cutting services for patients, including long-term care. Trump's bill does include $50 billion with a B for rural hospitals. Those funds will be distributed by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services for 5 years. Park called the federal funds, quote, a fig leaf, unquote, noting that it won't be enough to offset the losses for the Medicaid and ACA cuts. Stepping away from the story, you know what my teacher, Ken Lewis, once said in social studies. When we were studying China, he'd give us Confucius says. Confucius says. He'd say, Confucius says, man who wears fig leaf should not own goat.
Can you elaborate on that?
No, I just think man who wears fig leaf should not own goat. That's every time I see a fig leaf, I think of him. So yes, there will be money. There's money in this, but you understand what they're putting in is not enough to offset the cuts in Trump's bill. And we're going to see this all across Wisconsin. We're going to see it across the country. And because many of these cuts don't actually take effect until 2027, the Republicans are going to tell us, oh, this is overreaction. But these medical facilities, these hospitals, have to plan ahead. So don't let people pull the wool over your eyes. Know what's in this bill. Know what's in the fine print. The Republicans, MAGA, Trump is sticking it to rural hospitals. And if you think, well, okay, that's just way up north in Wisconsin or it's in southwest Wisconsin. No. You go a half an hour outside of Milwaukee or Madison or Green Bay, you're going to be in a rural hospital or a rural clinic. So don't think this is going to affect you. We were just up in in Eau Claire this weekend, having a lovely dinner with Pat Kreitlow and his lovely wife, Dr. Kreitlow, who is telling us as an OBGYN that there are people in this state now who are driving over 2 hours for services. This is only going to get worse. All right, we're going to get to this in hour 2, I promise you. Headline, Elmo gets hacked on social media, goes on anti-Semitic tirade, and says Trump is on the Epstein list. I mean, it's actually, I think it's funny. But the crap that this hacker put on there is not funny. But the fact that this is so Elmo has a Twitter account.
Which always just posts positive little things like, right. Elmo hopes you're having an excellent day.
Right.
Like, Elmo loves spending time with his friends, and you should too.
Right, exactly. But someone hacked the Elmo Twitter account over the weekend and started putting things on there that Elmo clearly would not say. Sesame Street's beloved Muppet Elmo, known to go viral online for working through grief with celebrities or just generally checking in with everyone, went viral yet again yesterday, but this time because he was hacked. And the hack led to some very not Elmo posts. Yesterday morning, Elmo's X account began posting links to cryptocurrency scams before things got canceled by hanging out with Tom. There appear to be 6 rogue posts in total, largely targeting minority groups, particularly the Jewish community. But there was one about Trump and Epstein. We'll share it when we come back. Elmo knows. Stay with us. Hour 2 is straight ahead. News, weather, and sports next. It's the Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Elmo helps you come back.
This is 92.7 WMDX Columbus, Madison's home for real news and great conversation. A Civic Media station.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Kentucky police identified the gunman in the deadly shooting at a Baptist church Sunday in Lexington as Guy House. 2 people were killed, 2 others injured. Police say House also shot at a state trooper and carjacked a vehicle earlier. ABC News has learned through House's estranged girlfriend that he also had a history of mental illness and drug possession. Kentucky State Police Sergeant Matt Sudduth says the investigation into how he got the gun is ongoing.
I'm not going to speculate as to why he had a gun. If he had, obviously he had a firearm because of what we know, but I can't speculate as to how he got that.
President Trump announcing an arms deal with NATO to deliver defense weapons to Ukraine. The president also vowed to slap another round of steep sanctions against Russia if the leader does not get a peace deal done in 50 days. 20 states are suing the Trump administration's education department for withholding $6 billion in federal funding for education, summer, and after-school programs. They're asking for the courts to act quickly. This is ABC News.
As Wisconsin is summer weekends being spent on the lake, this is the Civic Media Radio Network.
For 92.7 WMDX News, I'm Savannah Tomei Olson. Developers are looking to build a new neighborhood on the Far East Side. The State Journal reports Viridian Homes wants to add a new subdivision near I-94 and the 3990 interchange. They'd add 500 single-family homes, twin homes, and townhomes. The company would call it the Ryland Grove neighborhood, and it would take up to 15 years to complete. The city's Plan Commission has already approved the project, so now the Common Council is set to vote on it this week. Meanwhile, the Wisconsin Realtors Association released its monthly report for May, and it showed there was a drop in home sales, but an increase in prices from last May. According to the report, home sales through the first 5 months of 2025 fell by almost 3% compared to the same period last year. The median home price also rose by nearly 7% to $315,000 statewide. Here in Madison, the average home is now valued at about $480,000. While the number of existing homes for sale dropped by about 1.5%, the total number of listings rose by 8.5%, with more than 22,000 homes currently on the market in Wisconsin. And there's a new rule at Goodman Pool. Kids under 16 now must have an adult with them. Until this point, kids 10 and under needed to be accompanied by a responsible adult. That's the phrasing the city uses. The city's Park Board of Commissioners approved the plan, saying it'll keep the pool a safe and welcoming place for everybody. Minors under 16 who do not have that responsible adult with them could be asked to leave or get their pass suspended for the whole summer. That new policy begins this Thursday, July 17th. I'm Savannah Tomei Olson. For more local news straight to your inbox, sign up for our newsletter. All you have to do is head to WMDXradio.com. You're listening to 92.7 WMDX News.
The Brewers draft is underway. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Baseball, the MLB draft continues today. In the first round, the Brewers selected third baseman Andrew Fisher of the Tennessee Volunteers, who scouts say has modeled his swing after the Phillies' Bryce Harper.
I'm working on my swing in the cage a ton. I'm trying to emulate Harper as much as I can. Obviously, he has different rhythm in the box and different approach sometimes, but, I mean, how could you not watch a guy like that hit?
In all, the Brewers drafted 5 players, 2 infielders, 3 pitchers. Yesterday, the crew beat the Nationals 8-1. Freddie Peralta giving up just 1 run in 6 2/3 innings. Peralta asked about heading into the All-Star break, just a game behind the first-place Cubs.
I think that we are in great position right now. We're doing great because we are not thinking about how far we are from the first place.
NBA, the Bucks introducing Miles Turner, who showed off his new jersey.
See me this bus green. Heard my girlfriend tell me I look good in green, so it's going to be a seamless feat.
With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
As Wisconsin summer weekends being spent on the lake, this is the Civic Media Radio Network.
Bright and hazy today with mostly sunny skies and wildfire smoke and winds barely moving. High temperatures today will strike the upper 80s. But with the increased humidity, it's going to be feeling more like the low 90s. Stay cool and keep hydrated. I'm meteorologist Brittany Merlot. It's 84 degrees at our studios.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing.
My parakeet's missing? Good gravy.
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
Nightlight with Pete Schwaba.
Milwaukee film critic, Mr. Matt Miller. I know you saw this. I saw 28 years later as well. I really liked it. My wife loved it. And we're not really horror people, but
join
just
us
something
tomorrow
to grab.
from
It's just great
Racine.
storytelling.
It is simultaneously what you would want from a zombie movie and something completely different. It's just a really fascinating movie and one I hope people keep checking out.
From the Civic Media World Headquarters in Madison, Wisconsin, it's the Todd Allbaugh Show. And now, pursuing truth wherever it may lead, here's your host, Todd Allbaugh.
Across Wisconsin on the Civic Media Radio Network and streaming worldwide on the Civic Media app. Good afternoon, everybody. Todd Allbaugh along with Mr. Aaron Zommers on the board. It is now 6 past the hour of 3 o'clock. Welcome into hour number 2 of the big program. It is Monday, July 14th, 2025. It is a great day to be a Wisconsinite. Glad to have you along. We're here at the world headquarters of Civic Media in downtown Madison on State Street. Blue skies above, beautiful day here, Zommers. And it's what Euchre would call getaway day. They go on the road, and the last game of the series, he'd say, well, it's getaway day here, folks. Got to get on the plane as soon as this one's over and head on to our next stop. It's getaway day for us. Got to pack up the gear. We had time to do a wash of laundry, fresh socks, underwear, and then it's back on the road tomorrow. Going to be coming to you from our studios down in Racine, the Jane Matnair booth in Radio City Park Rocket Hall.
I just hope that she doesn't finish off the fruit plate before we get there.
There's a fruit plate in Racine?
No.
I didn't.
There
will be
she
Kringle.
wants one.
There will be Kringle because I'm going to get some Kringle for tomorrow's show. And maybe we'll get some Kringle people on the show tomorrow. That would be lovely.
That would be excellent.
That would be lovely. So we're going to be down there tomorrow. Zommers is coming along with me. We're going to have a 1967 Bluebird bus that Mathers is picking up with me. Because there was a lot of consternation around the vehicle here. And so, but they no longer trust Todd with the company credit card. And so poor Luke has to trek from his beautiful home in the Tony suburbs of Sun Prairie out to Wauwatosa to use his card to rent the vehicle. And so then I'm going down to Racine. We're going to pick up Jane and Greg, Jane Matnair and Greg Bach of the wonderful program Matnair and Air every morning from 9 to 11. And then after our program tomorrow in Racine, we're going to get on the Bluebird bus and we're going up to Oshkosh. And we're going to do the show on Wednesday from the EAA Museum in beautiful Oshkosh, Bagash. Then on Thursday, we'll be coming to you from a beautiful art studio where Jane and I are going to do a pottery off, where we each put a bunch of clay on a wheel and see who can spin a throw, it's called throwing, who can throw a vase or vase the fastest. So that'll be a lot of fun.
The fastest or the best?
No, I think it's the fastest. Who could produce a vase the fastest?
Well, then you have to qualify, like, what exactly are you making?
Well,
because otherwise all you got to do is toss it down, make it round, stick your hand in the middle for a hole, done.
Don't ruin the bit, Zommers.
Okay.
We're going to have a pottery off. Greg Bach is going to be painting a lovely landscape scene in acrylic. Now, I thought it was oil.
I thought it was oil
but
paint.
Apparently Bach works in acrylics, I'm told.
Gotcha.
So there's that. And then on Friday, and this is real, we're going to be coming to you from a place called The Lot. Now, don't get confused. It's not Big Lots, which is, have you ever been to a Big Lots?
I have not. Are they still around?
I think they are. It's big, but I'm not sure there's a lot going on. But Big Lots, and so it's not that.
They do still exist?
It's a place called The Lot, and it's right across from the Muskie 101 music station in Hayward. It's right along the highway. There's a lovely pavilion. Jane and Greg are going to be doing their show on stage from 9 until 11 Friday morning, and we're going to be doing our show from 2 until 4. So bring your lawn chair, bring a beverage, bring a pet, bring a friend, bring a frenemy, whatever you want to do, and meet Jane and Greg and myself. It's a much bigger deal to meet Jane, but I'll be there as well. So come on out. We're in serious now. I'm going to have coffee. We're going to be brewing Wonder State coffee there in all of our locations. We'll buy a cup of coffee. We might buy another beverage if it's in the afternoon. Heck, it's Hayward. We'll buy any beverage you want at 9 o'clock in the morning. As long as they're selling, we're buying. So
I looked up Big Lots. There are still stores, but all of them are contained from the southeast corner of Michigan over to Pennsylvania and down. I just thought that was very interesting how you look at the map and it's completely blank for the rest of the U.S. and then a huge blob.
I picked a bad week to stop sniffing glue. Anyway, it's 11 minutes past the hour at 3 o'clock. Lots coming up on this show, including we're going to get to a big anniversary for Family Feud, big game show. And what else we're going to talk about? This is news you could use. We're touring around Wisconsin. Tick bites causing more people to go to the ER in 2025 than ever before.
Oof.
That's big news. We'll talk a little bit about that and much, much more. We got What's Worse coming up, but I want to finish this. And there's a serious side to this, but it's also just like crazy. We talked a little bit about this last hour at the end. So on Twitter, Elmo, yes, that Elmo, the Tickle Me Elmo doll, but also as a character on Sesame Street. He has, or at least his handlers, have a official Twitter account. And so the beloved Muppet on Sesame Street, his official X account or Twitter account got hacked yesterday. And they sent out some cryptocurrency scam posts. But then also, and this is the serious side, sent out anti-Semitic posts largely targeting Jews and also Donald Trump. Multiple posts called for violence against Jewish people, which is sick, demented, and terrible, and also referred to a reported client list of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Now, as we talked about in hour one, Trump, who campaigned and said he was going to release the Epstein list and these people who were caught up in this sex trafficking ring, and now he says he and his Bondi girl, Pam Bondi, the attorney general, say there was no list. Suddenly it disappeared. As Marsha Brady said, something suddenly came up, and it's not there anymore. And so a lot of MAGA types, as well as others, are very upset that Trump is covering all this up, allegedly because he was on the list. Well, this post on Elmo's official site yesterday says one post, and this is according to The Wrap, by the way, one post referred to the president as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's quote-unquote puppet because Trump, quote, is in the Epstein files, unquote. And I have to be very careful. While another tweet on Elmo's site called him a child effer and demanded the release of Epstein's client list. Now, that's not normally something you'd hear Elmo say. If you watch Sesame Street, he doesn't use that kind of language. But it also kind of gets the point across and drew a lot of eyes to this major story that Trump is apparently trying to make go away. So no, Elmo was not using the F word and vulgarity. He was hacked. And so they released, Sesame Street released a thing saying Elmo's X account was briefly compromised yesterday by an unknown hacker who posted disgusting messages, including anti-Semitic and racist posts. A spokesman said the account has since been secured, unquote. Following the post, other users online expressed outrage, not at the posts themselves, but rather at whoever took over the Muppets account. So there you go. Sometimes things get hacked. All right, so it's coming up on 15 minutes past the hour. all 3 o'clock. We'll be following this, by the way, to see if any other Muppets get hacked. They may Big Bird could get hacked at any moment. 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. If you want to call in and talk about Allbaugh or anything else. Ron listening in Milwaukee on WAUK. Ron, going to be back down in that part of the state tomorrow. What do we got?
Well, geez, you guys are quick. I barely got my shirt put back on here, and I think I'm presentable for the video podcast.
Well, good. I'm glad.
Maybe my first thought was maybe they should change the name of. I used to love going to Big Lots. I spent entirely too much money on
really
dubious stuff there, but I did get some bargains over the years, and then they disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And here in southeastern Wisconsin, and I thought after a while, and I realized they were downsizing all over the country. I thought maybe they should rename themselves. Let's get Small Lots.
That would be pretty good.
Shrinkage lots.
Small lots. Small lots.
Pretty good. More serious.
Yeah.
More seriously, I'd love to talk about Elmo, but more seriously, everybody talks about one side of this thing about the Republicans are deliberately delaying some of the big cuts to social programs until after the midterm elections, right?
Yep.
So that they don't have to face, the consequences until it's too late. But I also think, let's just assume that despite that maneuver, the Democrats still take over the Senate or the House or both. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Then they just pivot because they've done this before. Then the Republicans start saying, "Well, the Democrats run Congress."
Exactly.
No,
exactly.
It's like they've always run Congress.
He
had a post out. Trump himself had a post out like a couple of days ago, where he listed 5 reasons that the economy is so crappy, and he kept. In 2009, Biden did this, and then or Obama did this, and he got all his dates wrong. None of those dates could have happened, including he had one for himself at the end where he says, and then in 2016 when I was president for the first time, I did X, Y, and Z and fixed all this. And it's like, no, you hadn't taken your oath of office yet.
No, you're exactly right, Ron, and this is why, unfortunately, this budget, this so-called big, beautiful bill that Trump and the MAGAs put out there, this is why it is so perfect in terms of politics. And I don't know who came up with it, but unfortunately, they did a great job. Because if Democrats take control of one of both houses, Trump will say, well, see, this is what you get when Democrats are in control. All the cuts take effect after the election. Or it won't be talked about enough, and Republicans will get back in control anyway, and then the pain will happen, and they'll just lie about it and gaslight people and say it wasn't really them. So, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Ron. Appreciate the call. All right, let's start this out before the break here. Have we got time? Yeah, we got time. All right, here we go. Time once again for What's Worse. Let's go.
This or that. Then, of course, the choice is yours. You can get with this or you can get with that.
Time once again for What's Worse. Nothing to give away, no prize money involved, but it is your chance to have your voice heard on all 11 news, talk, sports stations in the Civic Media Radio Network across the great state of Wisconsin. No better place to have your voice heard, your product advertised, than here at Civic Media. Hit us up, civicmedia.us sales. We'll be happy to help you out. All right, Zommers, I'm trying to lose a little weight. Maybe on this tour that Jane and Greg and I are taking, a little jogging up in northern Wisconsin. We'll see. Maybe along the Fox River somewhere in the Fox Valley. Anyway, here is today's category. Dieting or exercise? What's worse? Dieting or exercise? 855-752-4842, 855-752-4842, or you can text us on the Civic Media app. If you don't have it, download it today at your Android or Apple device. Simply go to your search bar, type in Civic, C-I-V-I-C, Media. It'll pop up, takes less than a minute. It is free. It's what Gail King at CBS calls a deal, the Civic Media app. Download it today. All right, dieting or exercise? Give us a call, 855-752-4842. We'll discuss that more on the other side. It's the Allbaugh Show across Wisconsin on the Civic Media Radio Network.
That's Big Bird. That's Allbaugh's song.
great conversation. 92.7 WMDX.
You know Ignite Glass and Gifts 3 locations in Madison, but you can also shop IgniteGlassandGifts.com. You'll find grinders, lighters, collectibles, hand-blown glass water pipes, artistically designed jewelry, and plenty of other items delivered straight to your door or to family and friends. Madison's favorite for glass, gifts, and vape. Ignite Glass and Gifts. Monona Drive, Williamson Street, and Odana Road. Plus IgniteGlassandGifts.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally
I want to know if we accepted money from this or
I
if
use
it's some
Upside
kind of
every
like
time I
just
fill
big
up.
buyout.
I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Remember,
download the free Upside app
it's
now
free,
to earn cash
you
back
are
every
the
time
commodity.
you buy gas. Use promo code EARN to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code EARN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code EARN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Craft cocktails, live events, a playground for the kids, and yes, self-serve instant ramen bar and drag bingo. It's all at Downdrin's Distilling in Cottage Grove. It's not your average tasting room. Pet-friendly, family-friendly, flavor-packed. Visit downdrins.com or stop by today.
Sugar River Pizza and the John and Gordy Show have both been nominated for Madison Magazine's Best of Madison. Thanks for your vote. To celebrate, they're throwing Sugar River Pizza parties at workplaces around Madison all summer. If your workplace would like a Best of Madison pizza party with Sugar River Pizza and John and Gordy, get to WMDXradio.com and tell us why.
We promise not to embarrass you in front of your boss.
Everyone's already seen you do the
Pump up the jam, pump it up while your feet are stumping. And the jam is pumping. Look ahead, the crowd is jumping. Pump it up a little more, get the party going on the dance floor.
Welcome back to the Todd Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network. 22 now, past the hour of 3 o'clock on a Monday, July 14th. Zommers spinning the exercise tunes on the board. Welcome back, everybody. Nicely done, Zommers. I want to lose a little weight. The old gut is just getting a little too punchy, if you know what I mean. So I'm trying to eat a little bit healthier. I need to get back into exercising. So today is what's worse, timely indeed, as Mike Lucas likes to say. What's worse, dieting or exercise? Dieting or exercise? 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. Or you can text us on the Civic Media app. You can also text on or chime in on YouTube channel, on Facebook, what is Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Twix, as Craig Ferguson likes to say. What's worse, dieting or exercise? I don't know. It's tough for me. I don't know. You want to go first?
For me, it's very easy.
Really? It's very easy, he says. All right, what's worse?
Well, see, the thing is, I have a chronic illness that gives me ridiculous fatigue sometimes from standing up.
Yes.
So for me, exercise is way worse.
All right.
Meanwhile, it's super strange. Sometimes I have a recumbent, what's the word? Stationary. That's the word. Recumbent stationary bike in my garage.
What's the recumbent stationary bike per se?
So stationary bike means it's a workout bike. It doesn't go anywhere. You just pedal in place. And recumbent means you're like sitting back, laying down almost instead of sitting upright. I will stand up and walk down the stairs to the garage, and my heart rate will go up to 140. I'll sit down on the bike and start actually exercising, and it'll go back down to like 100.
Really?
It's ridiculous. It's so stupid.
Your body is wired very differently.
Yeah, it doesn't work right.
Well, I'm not going to say that, but it's wired differently. For those that don't have that condition, what's worse, dieting or exercise? 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. What's worse, dieting or exercise? You can text us on the Civic Media app as well. I've done both. I've had success. Usually, if you want to actually lose weight, you have to do both.
Yeah.
You really can't do one and not the other to some degree. Well, Heather's chiming in there, and Eau Claire says they are both a struggle, especially at the fair. Yes, right? The Northern Wisconsin State Fair. But exercise is worse, she says. I like good food. I can do good food. I just need to stay away from junk food. The motivation to get up and exercise is more of a struggle. I'll disagree a little bit because I'm going to say, having done both and had success doing both, but then having not done either one well for quite a while and trying to get back into it, I think that beginning exercise might be worse. But once you get into the routine, like say, give it probably 3 weeks to a month. After you do it, if not every day, 3 or 4 times a week for a month, and you actually start feeling a little better, then you want to do it more. It almost becomes addictive. And of course, you know, back when I had a personal trainer, it also really helped because that motivation, and you look forward to seeing your trainer, and they motivate you, and you feel better, and you know, it's a lot of fun. So I enjoyed exercise once I got into it, but it's just that it's those first 2 to 3 weeks where you're sore and you're out of breath and you know, that kind of thing. But once you get into it, exercise is fun. For me, dieting is easier to start, but more difficult to maintain. Because it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to, all right, tonight I'm going to take a trip to the grocery store and I'm going to buy the things the fruits, the vegetables, whatever that I know I should be eating. But then for me, with this goofy schedule and media, finding the time to do the meal prep, finding the time to buy the food. My problem, because good food, A, is more expensive than junk food, and B, it doesn't have the shelf life.
And it takes longer to prepare usually.
Right. So you have to find time, and then you buy it, and then it goes bad. You got to throw it away. So I think that maintaining dieting is more difficult.
It can also be difficult when you have roommates. One of my roommates has the palate of like a 6-year-old, and so he doesn't like vegetables. So that makes it hard to cook.
Do you guys eat together, though?
Oh, most of the time.
Do you really?
Most evenings, yeah.
That's interesting. 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. Kurt, listening on WMDX in Madison. Kurt, dieting or exercise, what's worse?
Dieting is worse. And Todd, you nailed it. I used to swim a mile every day, 6 days a week, up until 5 years ago, and my job and my life prevented me from doing so. But there is something I'd like to share that worked, but I missed the part of what you have to do once you do it.
Okay.
I tried a 3-day fast. And I'll have to say day 2 was worse than day 3, because by the time you get to day 3, it's almost as your stomach is really shrinking down. And you kind of lose a lot of the desire to want, feel like you have to eat something.
Right.
But when you come out of that 3-day fast, one of the things I screwed up on is the food, how you reintroduce the foods and what foods you reintroduce.
Very
and
interesting.
I learned it because I put like 5 pounds up, but I lost 11 pounds.
Wow, good for you. I would say we were up against the clock, Kurt. Thanks for the call. I would just make sure you do it under a doctor's supervision, because, sometimes that can mess stuff up. Don't take medical advice from this show unless it's from professionals. But I appreciate the call, Kurt. Thanks so much. Let's go quickly to Cam in Appleton. Cam, got 20 seconds. Dieting or exercise? What's worse?
Exercising easily. I've done dieting before, and I also got my stomach cut up into the size of a banana. So I can deal that game. Exercising, the most I can get is listening to CJ and seething and getting mad.
All right,
that's the most I got.
Let's not get personal, but thank you. Megan in Sun Prairie off the text line says dieting is worse if people let it get out of hand or trying to lose weight solely by dieting fasting. It can get so dangerous. Well said, Megan. All right, come on back. Going to talk a Family Feud and The Miz on the other side. Ag Update is next from Cam Yonke and the Farm Team on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Sports. Madison's real news and great conversation. 92.7 WMDX. Connecting audiences.
The teaser.
Oh, yeah.
Recording whenever you're ready.
3, 2, and 1. Hey, everybody. Join us next time. We'll be on our first leg of our tour with Jane and Greg at their home at Radio City Park in Racine, along with Zommers and Kringle. Join us.
Over. A lot of times with these harvests, the harvest will actually manage and remove those weeds, so that's good. But if that alfalfa isn't growing well, then it might, the weeds might come back and affect the competitive ability of that too. So just keep a lookout for those. And if you do see those weeds, we don't really have a lot of options. So then we have to look at which type of, are we going to manage it, yes or no? I always tell people that if you're going to use a herbicide, you need to get the value of that herbicide and yield in that subsequent cutting.
Mark Renz along with us. He's an extension specialist and plant science professor at UW-Madison. You can find the full conversation with Mark on all things alfalfa at MidwestFarmReport.com. Just check out our podcast page. Stick around for a look at closing markets coming your way.
You're invited to Clinton Farms in Bear Creek for this year's Farm Technology Days, Generations of Progress. This year's event features the chance to explore cutting-edge equipment, innovative techniques, and taking a glimpse into the next generation of agriculture. There's also a Rotary Parlor, seminars, and of course, field demos of all kinds.
I've got
Mark
the original
your calendars
theme.
for
I also
August
have
5th through
a
the
quick
7th and bring the whole family to this year's event.
Where
For
he's
more
like,
information
all right, here's
and
the
show
question,
details,
and then they hit
visit
the buzzer and, like, you know.
WI.farmtechdays.org.
All right, great. Let's just come back with the theme.
The theme, yeah.
There goes Pam Yankee across Wisconsin in her Suburban truck. Thanks to Equity Livestock Cooperative, marketing your livestock, financing your operation, and supporting the livestock community since 1922. And to Cleary Building Corp. Cleary Building Corp. Build with pride before the shamrock is applied. Explore clearybuilding.com today. Keep up with Pam at MidwestFarmReport.com and on Facebook and Instagram.
On the close Monday from Chicago, corn has the best story to tell. Cash corn closed up 4 cents at $4 a bushel. December new crop corn up a nickel and 3/4 at $4.18 a bushel. Cash soybeans fell 3 1/4 cents at $10.01 a bushel. November new crop beans down 1/4 cent at $10.07 a bushel. And new crop wheat closed down 3 1/2 cents at $5.41 1/2. Fluid milk prices are also falling. The August Class 3 milk contract is down 38 cents at $17.38 a hundredweight. The September contract down 23 cents at $18.17. Class 3 milk goes to make cheese, which is following a similar trend. The 40-pound block closed down 1.5 pennies at $1.64 1/2. Double A butter closed down 1 penny at $2.58 per pound. For the Midwest Farm Report, I'm Stephanie Hoff.
Reach, engage,
my
grow
dad listening to
with
the show.
Civic
He just
Media.
sent me a meme about
Log
the
on
Epstein file.
civicmedia.us/advertise.
Maybe it is.
Bright and hazy today with mostly
Hello,
sunny skies
Mr.
and
Zommers.
wildfire smoke.
Mr. Zommers is Mr.
Barely
Zommers.
moving. High temperatures today will strike the upper 80s. But with the increased
The
humidity,
clip
it's going to
from
be feeling
Indiana
more
Jones where
like
he's
the
wheeling
low
the cart in
90s.
the big
Stay
warehouse.
cool and keep hydrated. I'm meteorologist
All right,
Brittany
you get
Morel.
rid of the
It's
diving
84
exercise
degrees
thing.
at our studios.
Please, thank you.
My bad.
Nightlight with Pete Schwaba.
Milwaukee film critic, Mr. Matt Miller. I know you saw this. I saw 28 years later as well. I really liked it. My wife loved it, and we're not really horror people, but just something that grabbed. It's just great storytelling.
It is simultaneously what you would want from a zombie movie and something completely different. It's just a really fascinating movie and one I hope people keep checking out.
Nightlight with Pete Schwaba. Weeknights from 6 till 8 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the Civic Media app.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
star of Family Feud, Richard Dawson. Welcome back to the Todd Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network. 35 minutes past the hour of 3 o'clock. Zombers on the board. Glad to have you along. Remember that? That's the Zombers did a great job. That is not the current Steve Harvey version of the theme song. That is your original Family Feud theme song. Why did I ask him to pull that up? Well, great story in Cord Cutters News. Cord Cutter News. Great media publication. It was over the weekend on Saturday. It marked the 49th anniversary of the premiere of Family Feud, the beloved game show that first aired on ABC on July 12th, 1976, hosted by the charismatic Richard Dawson. The show, which has become a staple of American television, introduced a fresh and engaging format that pitted families against each other to guess the most popular answers to survey questions. Sparky laughter, friendly competition, and memorable moments that continue to resonate with audiences today. When Family Feud debuted in 1976, it was created by Mark Goodson and Bill Todman, the masterminds behind other hit game shows like The Price is Right. Remember, I'm not sure for those, I'm not sure if they say it anymore, but at the end of these great shows, it would say, this has been a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.
I think they still do. I feel like I've seen that.
It's fantastic. The concept was simple, yet brilliant. 2 families of 5 competed to name the most common responses to questions asked of 100 people, with answers displayed on a colorful board. Richard Dawson, a British-born actor and comedian known for his role in Hogan's Heroes, brought a unique blend of wit, charm, and cheeky humor to the show. His habit of kissing female contestants, controversial even then, became a signature, if polarizing, part of the early feud experience. Dawson's quick banter and ability to connect with contestants made the show an instant hit. The original ABC show ran from 1976 to 1985, was a daytime television sensation, peaking with millions of viewers tuning in daily. The show's format, which rewarded quick thinking and relatable answers, resonated with families across America. Contestants battled for cash prizes and a chance to play the fast money round, where 2 family members aimed to score 200 points for a shot at big winnings. The show's iconic buzzer sound and Dawson's playful delivery of "Survey Says" became a cultural touchstone. Zombers, here's a clip of a little Family Feud for the Richard Dawson area.
100 people we surveyed. Top 7 answer on the board. Try and get the most popular one. Here's the question. Name an animal that a car is named for. Audrey.
Cougar.
A cougar. Let me see cougar. Number 1. No way you can beat it. Number 1, $48.
There was a car named number 1. I was thinking Jaguar.
That'd be my first guess.
Cougar? There was a car named Cougar?
Apparently, and it was number 1. You know, he did not say "survey says" in that clip. It must have been something they added later. This was episode 4, so.
Really, it was episode 4.
Yeah, so
wow.
it must have been once they got into the groove, he started saying "survey says."
And he said that a lot more when he went after that, because there was the
like the full reveal of the
right.
list.
Well, when because they have 2 people and they had to hit the buzzer, that iconic buzzer sound and that determined which so that person named the number 1 answer. So the other, he said, can't beat it. So that meant the family that got the number 1 answer, their team got to go first. So if it had been like the number 2 or 3, he would have said to the other person who did not hit the button as fast, you go. And if they got the number 1, then their team could either play or pass. And then right there. And then when we went down the row, the person would give the answer, and that's what he would say. "Survey says."
Sorry, I should have played this one first.
It's fine. That's the buzzer sound right there. But no, I mean, I never heard of a cougar car.
Me either.
I've never heard of that. I did see a lot of cougars at the Northern Wisconsin State Fair in the beer garden, as it turned out. But no. Anyway, it's a great show. After its initial run, Family Feud faced cancellation in 1985 due to declining ratings, but remember it was revived. You don't remember it, you weren't born. Revived in 1988 with new host Ray Combs. The show has since undergone multiple revivals, with hosts including Louis Anderson, Richard Karn, I don't remember that iteration, John O'Hurley, Mr. Peterman from The Seinfeld Show, and the current version, Steve Harvey, who has hosted the show since 2010. Can you believe that? Since 2010. And brought a new level of humor and energy, making it a syndicated powerhouse. Family Feud has aired in various formats, including primetime specials, celebrity editions, has been adapted in over 50 countries, providing universal appeal. Cindy in Appleton calling in. Cindy, do you have thanks for calling, Cindy, up there, beautiful Appleton. Do you have a Family Feud memory you'd like to share?
No, but I do think Mercury made a Mercury Cougar. I'm almost positive.
Oh, you're absolute. Look at that. Zommer's pulled it up. You are 100% right. You get the award there. A 1967 Mercury Cougar. Well, yes, Cindy. Well done. Survey says Cindy got the number one answer.
We got a few people on YouTube and Facebook who also mentioned the Cougar.
Nicely done, Cindy. Well, that makes sense because the show premiered in the 70s, so it wouldn't have been that far away. Mercury, of course, now basically doesn't exist anymore. So
not technically. There's still Mercury's on the road.
But there's a new company,
They aren't made anymore. But anyway, I'm on my way to the Milwaukee Press Club for Ask the Journalist. So
really?
We'll see how that event goes.
Right. Well, thank you. Thanks for taking the time to call in and enjoy safe travels down there to Milwaukee.
Thank you. There's not a Brewer game today. I hope I get caught in traffic. I don't even know.
The Brewers are on a break. And what a great transition. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that. Brewers on the All-Star break. Get ready to play the All-Star game. And over the weekend, and I want to play some of this. We'll see how much we play. I think it's fantastic. Our very own great sports reporter, Mike Clemens, was in the clubhouse over the weekend when Jacob Misiorowski, the Miz, as he's called, the new phenom of the Milwaukee Brewers, was named to the All-Star roster. This is part of that post-game presser that our own Mike Clemens was at, and we're going to play you some of this. This is Jacob Misiorowski in the Brewers clubhouse over the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I'm speechless. I mean, it's awesome. It's very unexpected, and it's an honor.
I can tell you're emotional. Mark said you were emotional when you got the news. What are you thinking about to get this news?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time coming, and I just want to honor the guys around me, and be a Brewer.
Is in your wildest dreams coming into this season? Could you have envisioned something like this happening?
No, not even close.
How did they break the news to you? What happened?
Got called in the Murph's office and sitting in there, and he's like, "Yeah, close the door. Come on, get in here." And basically broke it to me, and I had to sit there the whole game and not tell anyone.
How hard was that?
It was hard. Yeah.
Did you have a chance to call your parents at all? Or?
No. This was like at 54, like 3 minutes before anthem. So it's good.
As your story is like remarkable so far, what do you want? What lesson is there about opportunity and seizing the moment?
Yeah, I mean, just do it. I mean, I don't think there's any second guessing it. I think you just gotta take the opportunity and run with it. So,
I mean, you've been in spring training. You've gotten to know these guys. You've been up for a couple weeks now. What have you felt in terms of from your teammates and the guys in here about what you've done and how they've supported you, and even their reaction maybe?
Yeah, no, they were all thrilled about it and they're happy for me. But it's been the world for the guys to be around me and support me how they have. It's been awesome.
How does it feel to represent them and the Brewers organization in this way?
Yeah, I mean, I got no words for it. I mean, it's an honor, and I'm just excited.
what were your plans for the break? You probably could use a break.
I was going to do nothing. now I'm doing something. So, yeah, it's going to be fun.
Jacob, when you think of All-Star Game, is there a game that you think of, maybe watching on TV as a kid? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I went to the one in Kansas City. What, that would have been 16, 15, somewhere in there?
I was going to say 14.
12? Okay, so yeah, 12. There you go. So I was a little off. But yeah, I remember going to that and seeing that, and I thought it was the coolest thing that all the big stars were in one place. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting.
This is like
the post-game press conference there over the weekend. Many thanks to our great sports reporter, Mike Clemens, was at AmFam Field over the weekend. And that was Clemens asking that last question we took there, saying, is there a particular all-star game that you can remember? And it turns out in 2012, Mizorowski was there in Kansas City as a kid. Well, he's still a kid in a lot of ways, but as a true kid watching that. And here he is just over 10 years later, and he's in it. I mean, that's absolutely incredible. Mike Clemens, our sports reporter, posted on socials over the weekend, said Jacob Mizorowski's selection to the All-Star game came with just 5 career starts. It's a Major League Baseball record. It breaks the previous record held by Pittsburgh Pirates' Paul Skeens, who made 11 starts before being selected in the 2024 All-Star game. The Miz selection comes just 1 month after his Major League debut on June 12th. Jacob told me, Clemens says, his most memorable All-Star game was the one he watched growing up as a kid, and the one he got to attend, hosted in his hometown in Kansas City in 2012. The National League won that night 8-0. Many thanks to Mike Clemens for that. Once again, fantastic reporting there and those questions of Jacob Mizorowski, who is on his way to the All-Star game. I'm really watching just for that. I hope they put him in because it's not, not every single player always gets to play depending upon how it goes. But even if he gets, 1 or 2 batters that he gets to pitch to, how crazily incredible is that to have Jacob Mizorowski on the mound in the All-Star game after 5 career starts in the bigs.
I also really hope they get to. That would be so cool.
Absolutely incredible. So really, really incredible. John in Edgerton, listening at MDX, says, end of the show. I remember Richard got into, talking about Richard Dawson. All right. Well, we might talk about that a little bit later again. But no, I just think it's a great story. And the fact that Jacob Mizorowski is just such a wonderful pitcher with enormous talent. I'm telling you, the Brewers end the first half of the season here at the All-Star break 1 game behind the Chicago Cubs in the National League Central. They have a real shot. Named the top chance to win the Central. Survey says the Milwaukee Brewers. Back after this on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Cheering on the Brew Crew.
That iconic ding.
Oh, I love it. It's the best thing.
This
also,
is
Family Feud is the best
Radio
game
Network.
show.
It really is. It's fantastic.
Summer is on at Sugar River Pizza with 3 awesome locations in Sun Prairie, Verona, and New Glarus. Grab a seat on the gorgeous patio.
Terry
and
Barr
enjoy
has a
the
correction for us. It's
breathtaking
now
view.
called
Catch
Ms.
live
Waukee.
music every Thursday
Terry
evening
Barr,
at the
thank you so
Sun
very
Prairie
much.
location, and sip
Fantastic.
from 48 beers on tap or a glass of your favorite wine. Craving something amazing? The pizza and pasta are melt in your mouth
That's good,
delicious.
Terry.
And
Very,
yes,
very good.
they cater. Make it a summer to savor. Only at Sugar River Pizza. SugarRiverPizza.com.
Herbal Aspect has landed. That's right. Madison's go-to cannabis destination now has a brand new location in Sun Prairie.
Wait, 4 locations? That's a high level of convenience.
With 3 Madison locations and now Sun Prairie, a great cannabis experience is always close by. Our expert staff is here to help, whether you walk in, call, or order online. Mention Radio 420 and get a special discount. So stop by Herbal Aspect in Sun Prairie because great cannabis isn't just a pipe dream.
Nice. I'm rolling over now.
Herbal Aspect.
Hey, Gordy.
How you doing?
Oh, Arthur, great. Great to see you. What are you doing in the studio?
Well, I need to talk to you about doing a commercial.
Oh, okay. Well, to get a commercial on the air here, you just go down to the sales department. It's right next to the bathroom.
I don't think you understand.
Oh, I understand plenty. You salespeople drink a lot of coffee. That's why the bathroom's right there.
Right, but I need to have you make a commercial about commercials.
Wait. A commercial about a commercial? I don't follow.
I want to tell potential business owners out there how to contact me to get a commercial on WMDX.
Ah, okay, I get it. Okay, let's come up with something. Let's see. Business folks can contact you directly, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
What's the email, huh?
Okay, so it's sales@WMDXradio.com.
Oh, wait, run that by me again.
Sales@WMDXradio.com. So we could put all that together and get into a commercial, get on the air soon?
Arthur, my friend, I think we just did.
Advertise on WMDX Radio. Email Arthur, sales@WMDXradio.com.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Looking to strengthen the bond with your pup? Dane County Humane Society offers a variety of dog training classes led by certified trainers. Classes are designed to help you and your furry friend learn new skills, improve behavior, and deepen your
30
connections.
seconds.
Whether your dog is a
Gracias.
curious puppy.
Welcome back to the Todd Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network, where it's now 8 minutes before the hour of 4 o'clock. At the top of the hour, ABC, CBS, or James Kelly News, depending upon which of our great stations you're listening to across the state, followed by a check of weather. Summer is going to be nice today. Maybe some rain in the forecast Wednesday, but that's okay. Jane and Greg and I are going to be inside of the EAA Museum. Thursday, kind of 50-50, but Friday, shaping up so far, it looks pretty nice when we're out of doors. Outdoors in beautiful Hayward at the lot. At the lot right across from our station, the Muskie 101. That's what it is. Stop out. Jane's going to be there and Greg from 9 until 11 on Friday morning in Hayward. We're going to be there from 2 until 4. Bring a lawn chair, bring a beverage. We'll have the coffee pot on. Stop by, say hi. Jane, Greg, and I out at the lot in Hayward on Friday. It's going to be a great week. And tomorrow we're going to be coming to you from beautiful Racine, Wisconsin. Looking forward to that as well. And then immediately after the weather, you got sports. As we said, our great sports reporter, Mike Clemens, giving you the updates there. Then Maggie Dawn of the Maggie Dawn Show every afternoon from 2 until 4. Followed by our friend Pete Schwaba and Conrad and Nightlight from our great station, WGBW, up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I won't call it breaking news, but some new news. According to Scott Bauer, a reporter's reporter at the Associated Press. Nobody is on top of things as well as Scott Bauer. Knowing him, been in the Capitol a long time. Great guy, great reporter. Scott Bauer says, conservative Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice Rebecca Bradley. Our friend Matt Flynn calls her the bad Bradley. You had Ann Welch Bradley, who was the liberal from Richland Center, by the way, who's retiring. And then you've got Rebecca Bradley, the conservative, who is up for election in April. Get this, has raised no money, zero, nada, for a re-election bid through the end of last month, according to a report her campaign filed with the state today. Meanwhile, Chris Taylor, the liberal candidate so far, has raised over $500,000, $583,000. Bauer says Bradley has not officially said whether she is running again, although she told WisPolitics in April that she planned to run again. This new filing showing no fundraising or spending will only fuel speculation that Bradley may not be running again. The last time Bradley reported raising any money at all was in 2022 when she reported collecting $700. This year's Wisconsin Supreme Court race broke national records for spending on judicial races with more than $100 million spent by candidates and others. I'm calling it right now. Chris Bradley not running. I mean, she's not running. You don't raise zero money this year, less than a year out from an election, and your announced opponent so far has raised $500,000. You don't raise zero money and plan on running. She ain't running. Not gonna. I think. I can't say it. One of the State Journal reporter, great political reporter, been there forever. I can't say it now. Anyway, he reported his column that she was not going to run.
Unless you're banking on Elon Musk funding the whole thing. But no, I don't think that's actually going to happen.
There's that. But anyway, I don't think Bradley's running. So that's that. Here's a little news we can use this week. Jane and Greg and I getting on the road. Starting tomorrow for us, we're going to be, Jane and Greg and I are going to be, or Jane and Greg are hosting us in their living room at WRJN down in Racine, Kenosha. So we're going to be down there. They have a beautiful 1978 sofa that we're going to be lounging around on down there.
Don't tell JD.
Anyway, then we're getting on the road. We're going to be out in the North Woods later on this week. According to the State Journal, Dan Bice, that's what I was trying to say, just came. I've gotten to that age, Zommers, where things leave me, my brain, and then I'll be starting, and then I'll just boom, they pop back. And Dan Bice reported, I believe, in his column that Bradley wasn't going to run again. She's not running. Anyway, from the State Journal, Journal Sentinel, tick bites sending more people to the ER than past years, CDC data shows. This summer is shaping up to be one of the worst tick seasons in recent years. According to new Centers for Disease Control Prevention data, emergency room visits related to tick bites have spiked in 2025, reaching their highest point in 5 years nationwide, according to the CDC's tick bite data tracker. I did not know that. I didn't know there was a tick bite data tracker. The Northeast of the country has been hit particularly hard with tick bites, accounting for 283 ER visits per 100,000 during the peak month of May, up from around 209 around the same time in 2024. So tick bites, just use some common sense. Use DEET. I bought some for this trip. I don't care what they say. Give me the DEET. Bring on the DEET. 40% DEET. Give it to me. Spray it right on my arms, my ankles. I don't care.
This just in. Todd hates nature.
No, I love nature.
No, I know.
I love nature, but buy the things that aren't DEET. This has citronella. And then you get ticks. I'd much rather have the DEET than have ticks. I love the outdoors. Kayaking, tenting, hiking. I'm going to spend a lot of time this week in the outdoors.
You're just being realistic about it.
Right. Get the DEET. Just use your common sense. Don't freak out. It's just that we used to get ticks on us all the time at the farm. You're taking a shower. Oh, there's a tick. Boom. No big deal.
They are worse than they used to be, according to PJ Leash, the bug guy.
Well, yeah, and he was on Matt Nairn's program.
Exactly, that's what I'm referring to, yeah.
Jane will have more DEET. And so we're going to sit around a campfire every night, and Jane and Greg and I are going to pick ticks off of each other. That'll be a lot of fun. All right, join us tomorrow. We'll be in Racine on the first leg of our tour. What makes Wisconsin great? Not going to want to miss it. Great week ahead. Until then, Todd, Zommers, saying whatever you're fighting for, whatever you believe in, do not give up. Keep banging your drum. We'll see you from Racine tomorrow.
And they will hear you.
Adios, everyone.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Bye-bye.